Whisky Hunter here. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me again. In episode 8, I talked about a hunt that I scored from a fellow in New York from somebody referring me to him. And at that time I reviewed 5 bottles. I was waiting for the other package to arrive. It's arrived. So I've got the other 5 bottles of that 10-bottle hunt I want to show you and talk to you about. You know, when I'm looking in a lot of stores and hunting for bottles at mom and pop stores and party stores and sometimes grocery stores, I notice a lot of times bottles are laying on their side. And as much as I want a bottle, sometimes I let it go. I know that the high ABV is going to just corrode that cork, and when I go to open that thing, the cork's going to disintegrate. And a lot of times you end up knowing a lot more than that liquor store owner, and they don't know any better. They store it like they store wines. So, you know, I try to be nice and let them know, please don't do that. Straighten that bottle up. Don't store it on its side. It's just ruining it for the future, and chances are it's already been ruined. So, well, let's talk about the other 5 bottles I got in that hunt. The first bottle, which is a compass box, and the last of the compass box I got of the old compass box is the Sila. This is a 2006 bottling. Let me bring it a little closer to you. It's 40% ABV. Any lower, it wouldn't be considered a Scotch. It's a first fill American oak. It's made up of Linkwood, which is 30%, Glen Elgin, which is 10%, Tiananich, which is 10%, and then the rest of it is grain, 50%, which is Cameron Bridge. This is like a lot of those others, one of the first releases of this specific expression of compass box. So I'm really happy I got that. It's one of my favorite distillers. In fact, what we'll be tasting today will be a compass box and reviewing. The next bottle that I got from this gentleman, who bought all these, by the way, in 2006, early 2000s. So he's the original purchaser of, the first purchaser of them. The next bottle is a Glenfarclas, another one of my favorite distilleries. This is a 2006 18-year-old. It's a single cask, 43% ABV. It was distilled in 1987, and like I said, bottled in 2006. This was bottled by the Classic Cask Bottling Company. And I know they're back east. They're long gone now. It was bottled for Bayway. There you go. Bayway World of Liquor, located in New Jersey. They are still a main spirit store out in New Jersey. I happened to reach out to that store when I received this bottle about a week and a half ago, and I asked to talk to the spirits manager if they knew anything about it. Well, I left my number, and I got a call a couple hours later from a gentleman named Pat McCarthy. He's been the spirits manager at Bayway World of Liquor for 15 years. And I told him what I had, and he said, you know, I think you may be the only other person that has this bottle other than me, which I put away when we first bottled it. And he told me stories of how George Grant used to come in his store back in the day when he'd visit a lot of the stores and did a lot of the marketing himself. As a matter of fact, George Grant poured me some of his spirit in 2015 Whiskey Fest in San Francisco. But he told me how George Grant did not like that independent bottlers were bottling Glenfarclas. And he said whenever he came to his store, he'd have to hide all the independent bottles away so George wouldn't get pissed off about it. So I'm thrilled to have this bottle, 2006 18-year-old single class Glenfarclas. There's not many independent bottlers around to find a Farkless. The next bottle I got from him is another, as I talk about how rare Glenfarclas is another Glenfarclas by Malt Trust. This is a, I think this is a 2006, again, bottled in 1984. It's another single cask. Malt Trust was located in Florida. They were only around 2 years, 2006 to 2008. I have some other expressions by Malt Trust. They tend to make or produce very good whiskey. They typically bottle premium quality cask strength whiskeys with age to it. I have some Macallan and some 28-year-old Colila. In any case, the owner was Joel Gosler. He was a former exec with William Grant & Sons, and I'm not sure why they're gone now, but they definitely put out some really nice juice. This is a 21-year-old. It's cask 7034 and bottle 541. Looking forward to opening this. Very nice bottle. I've never seen this Glenfarclas before. The next bottle, there's 5, is a Glenlivet Nadura. I've never had a Nadura before, but I've heard good things about it. This is a 16-year-old at 57.2 ABV, again bottled in 2006. It's batch 0606A, which stands for June of 2006. I'm looking forward to tasting this. It's a beautiful gold color. I believe it's non-chill filtered and no color added. Actually, it is. It says it on the label. Glenlivet Nadura, 16-year. And the last bottle I got from him is another Glenlivet. This is a 21-year. It's the Archive series. It's bottled in 2007. It's cask 40174 at 43% ABV. I don't know a lot about this. I saw an earlier review of this specific cask that said it was really good. I also believe this is non-chill filtered and non-colored. I could be wrong on this. It doesn't say it on the label, so it may not be. But this is, again, cask 40174, 21-year Glenlivet. That's 10 bottles I got from this really nice guy. He purchased all these back in 2006, some of the others a little earlier, and that concludes the 10 bottle hunt. Let's do a review. We're going to review, this is one of my favorite whiskeys I got in 2015, the Flaming Heart by Compass Box. Oops, I'm glad I didn't spill that glass. And we'll grab these bottles here. So, let's take a look at this. I do have a couple bottles of this. It was so good. Really, one of my favorites for that year. This is a limited release. John Glazer, at that same Whiskey Fest in 2015, was there and poured this, the General, a bunch of others for me, and I just fell in love with this at that time. This is the 5th edition. The bottling's unbelievable. As most of the artwork done on these limited edition Compass Box releases, it's known as the 15th anniversary edition. In 2015, it's 48.9% ABV. 12,060 bottles were produced, not many. Just to show you, if you recall in the other hunt where I got the other 5 bottles, I also got an early release Flaming Heart second release. And you can see how the labels have come along over the years. You can't really compare the juice. I don't have the other one open yet because the bottle's darker, but 2 really nice bottles. So The Flaming Heart is a blended whiskey. It's made up of 38.5% Caol Ila 14-year, 27.1% Caol Ila 30-year, 24.1% 20-year Clynelish, and 10.3% Clynelish, Teaninich, and Dalwhinnie 7-year. This is our color, which I'd call a honey gold. And this is the legs on this glass. It's been sitting in the glass maybe 30 minutes at this point. And let's have a nose. Oh, before we do that, I have a number of these little bottles here. They are not from the distiller, though they have the same label as the big bottles. So I have a number of these 2-ounce bottles. I have that for a lot of my different expressions, where I'm able to drink out of the samples without having to open the main bottle. But I certainly will once I run out of these samples. I have a couple of them here and a number more in the case. Onto the nose. Flaming Heart, 15th anniversary edition. The first thing you get is that Caol Ila ash, the smoke. It's not, though it is a Islay, it's not your thick peat medicinal smoke. It's more of an ashy kind of smoke. There's fresh lemon oil, which is which you typically pick up in Caol Ilas, and this is, I don't know, 60-65% Caol Ila. Almond paste. There's a sweetness to it, yet there's the tartness of the lemon, but the sweetness and the lemon work together. I get Fiji apple, juicy, sweet Fiji apples. As with a lot of old whiskeys, you get leather, and this is like a just conditioned bomber's jacket leather. It's got the Clynelish wax to it, so it's like you just conditioned your leather. You get this waxy leather aroma. This is a very complex dram. Onto the taste. Wow. If you could infuse smoke into the Fiji apple, that's kind of what you initially get with your first taste. And mouth-coating oilness. It's oily and waxy. It's very smooth. There's even though it's 48.9% ABV, there's really no alcohol harshness to it. Let's take another sip now that we've acclimated our taste buds to it. You really want to let this whiskey coat your tongue, your cheeks, under your tongue, roof of your mouth. There's a slight tartness to it from the lemon, but again with that sweetness like on the nose. It just integrates unbelievably. There's a maritime saltiness to it. Of course, there's no salt used in whiskey, but there's the memory of salt washing off of the ocean, probably infused into the casks over the years of sitting in those casks in that inclement weather. There's a bit of spiciness like a peppercorn to it. Roasted hazelnuts. It's almost like a the lemon brightness is behind that sweetness, almost like lemon juice poured on top of berries. There's a bit of coconut. It's very mouth coating, and it's got the leathery taste that you associate again with old whiskey. It's a very seductive, very sexy whiskey. It's got a lot going on. It's really, really good. Let's put a drop or two of water in it. See what we get from that. Let's let it sit for a quick second. How many times have you been in a liquor store in a bar and heard somebody say, I don't like whiskey, they all taste like smoke? And you want to go, what is the only thing you tried, a Lafroig? And they think that all whiskey's got a medicinal iodine taste, and they associate every whiskey, they think that there's no different Highlands, Lowlands, Speyside, it's all, they don't even know Isla, it's Islay or whatever they associate the word to, but you know, you got to let them know not all whiskeys taste like smoke. And I happen to like that, but it takes a while for your taste buds to mature to like that taste. This is a very sweet smoke. Let's try it with water. It brings out more sweetness to the ashy smoke. It's still got that silky mouthfeel. The smoke's maybe a little curbed now that you've put some water in it. It's more of a waxed fruit. I think it brings out the clynelish a little more. It's such a great, great whiskey. The finish is long, it's sweet, it's ashy. It leaves you with a great mouthfeel, a silky sweetness in your mouth. It's a very lasting impression. It's a luxurious, complete whiskey. You can't do much better than this Flaming Heart. And you know, the price point on this is around $120 to $130, I believe. You can still find them. Like I said, they only made 12,000, but they're here and there if you look for them. I'd highly recommend you pick it up. I'd score it a 92. I appreciate you all joining me today. Please subscribe, share, and like. And I appreciate you all subscribing. And we'll be back next time and review another whiskey, have another hunt, and maybe some more tips. Thanks again. Have a great day or night.